Arjuna stood on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The moment to act had already come, and yet he was still thinking. His bow, Gandiva, was in his hand again, but his mind was not steady. It moved from one thought to another. What is right? What is wrong? What happens if I choose this path? What happens if I choose the other? Krishna stood beside him, watching, silent. Arjuna spoke. Krishna, I am no longer frozen, but I am not moving forward either. My body is ready, but my mind does not stop. Every decision becomes another question. Every answer becomes another doubt. I try to think clearly, but the more I think, the more confused I become. It feels like I am trapped inside my own thoughts. Krishna, why does the mind not stop? Why does it keep pulling me away from action? Arjuna lowered his bow slightly. His voice became quieter. Krishna, I keep trying to find the perfect answer, the perfect decision, the perfect moment. I tell myself, once I am completely sure, I will act. But that moment never comes. Because every time I think I understand something, a new doubt appears, a new possibility, a new fear. I think about what could go wrong. I think about what others will say. I think about what I might regret. And so I keep thinking, and thinking, and thinking, but nothing changes. Time moves forward, the moment passes, and I remain in the same place. Krishna, is this wisdom? Or is this something else? Because it feels like I am moving, but I'm not going anywhere. Krishna looked at Arjuna. His expression did not change. Arjuna, the mind is not meant to be followed blindly. It is meant to be understood. The mind creates thoughts, that is its nature. Just as fire produces heat, the mind produces movement. But you have made a mistake. You believe every thought must be answered. You believe every doubt must be resolved. And so you keep engaging with the mind. This is what creates overthinking. Not the thoughts themselves, but your attachment to them. You are not trapped because of your thoughts. You are trapped because you keep giving them importance. The mind will always present another question, another possibility, another fear. If you wait for the mind to become silent before you act, you will wait forever, because the mind does not become silent through thinking. It becomes silent through clarity. Krishna continued, overthinking is not intelligence. It is hesitation disguised as analysis. You believe that more thinking will lead to better action. But beyond a point, thinking begins to block action. Clarity does not come from endless thought. Clarity comes from decision. You must learn to see the difference between useful thinking and endless thinking. Useful thinking leads to action. Endless thinking leads to delay. The moment thinking stops helping, you must act. Not because you have all the answers, but because action itself will reveal the path. Arjuna. You do not need perfect clarity. You need enough clarity to take the next step. The rest will unfold. If you wait for certainty, you will remain where you are. But if you act with awareness, you move forward. The mind will still speak. Let it. But do not follow every voice. Stand firm, choose, and move. This is where most people stay stuck. Not because they lack ability, but because they overthink. You have already thought about your situation many times. You have replayed it in your head. You have imagined every possible outcome. And still, you do not act. Because you are waiting for complete certainty. But certainty does not come first. Action does. Overthinking gives the illusion of progress, but it is only movement inside the mind. Real progress begins when you step forward, even when you are not completely sure. You do not need to eliminate doubt. You need to stop obeying it. Take one step, then another. That is how clarity builds. This is your Kurukshetra. And now the question is simple. Will you keep thinking? Or will you act?